time. Pizza time. You're late.
Pizza time.
Pizza time.
Ed, my friend, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Busy week, but we're back.
We're back.
It's just the duo this time. We're sorry. We're sorry. Three every now and then is okay, but the OGs are back.
This would be a perfect place to put our, like, if we had a new intro that's like hip hop.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Oh man,
OGs are back.
OGs are back. We're back, baby. Anyway, welcome back into the show. As we said, we're back. We got some news to cover this week, Ed. We're going to go over a lot of Disney Plus news dropping this week, Ed. And I think it was because there was something called Upfronts out in NYC this week, where they present brand new shows to basically to advertisers so they can partner with the shows and so on and so forth.
That's a whole new thing I've never heard of.
You've never heard of Upfronts?
Upfronts? No.
That's what they're called. Basically, obviously when new seasons are, as the calendar year turns, at the beginning of the year, they shoot pilots to a bunch of different new shows. Maybe some get picked up, maybe some don't. And there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get picked up. Anyway, so essentially what happens is all these pilots get shot. Then sometimes they'll pick them up, like CBS, ABC, and now Disney Plus is in the game, along with some other, all the streamers now in the game as well. And because, all the streamers are going to have ad-based streaming services at some point or another. So
Netflix,
HBO Max has an ad-based one now. So Peacock has ad-based ones.
That's true.
So yeah, they present all their new shows and all their pickups in front of advertisers in New York City, and advertisers decide, oh, I want to go on that show, or I want to put my spot with that commercial, and basically all ad time for the entire season is sold.
I had no clue that was a thing. I had no clue.
Yeah.
Upfront.
So Upfronts,
never heard of it.
That's why we got so much news this week, especially from the TV and streaming world.
Nice.
So yeah, some of the stuff we're going to see this. We got a date for She-Hulk, and we got a first look trailer.
We did.
We got some feelings on it. We got some news on Star Wars, believe it or not. Star Wars is... Kathleen Kennedy came out and basically said Star Wars will no longer be trilogies, and they're really going to focus on series, which I don't think is the most surprising thing, but we'll get into it. Mm-hmm. And then one of the most exciting things, another Disney Plus announcement, Daredevil has been announced. In a more surprising news, it's a continuation of the Netflix series, which I think is very, very surprising to hear, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited for sure. I mean,
yeah.
Is it surprising though? We just learned that our boy Charlie Cox is back. How could it not be kind of a continuation, right?
Well, I think it's a little surprising, but I have a theory as to why I think it's more surprising, and I don't think people are gonna love it.
I want to hear it. All right.
Yeah, so we got that, and then sticking with the Disney Plus theme, this week there's not many big movies coming out. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers comes out on Disney Plus. Go watch it. It's actually pretty good.
You watched it?
I haven't yet, but I've been told it's very good. Surprisingly good. Anyway,
yeah,
we're gonna actually do a Marvel Disney Plus tier ranking. Our first tier ranking. We're gonna rank them out. I think Ed and I might have some differences. So
possibly Can I show him the graphic? Should I show him the graphic?
Show him. We got the tier list.
Look at this.
At that.
Look at this.
We know what we're doing, guys.
Look what Alex cooked up for us last night.
Yeah, did that last night. 2 beers in.
Oh baby, 2 beers in.
all the letters are just nicely, put together on a straight line. I did that on my phone.
Beautiful minimalism.
Minimalist.
By the way, 2 beers in. That's a great segment title or some sort of podcast in and of itself. Let's just pin that.
Wait a minute. We should review movies 2 beers in.
I like it. 2 beers in.
Yes.
I like that.
Let's revisit bad movies
with a couple of drinks in us.
Yes.
Dude, let's do it. That's it, man.
I'm writing that down.
It's funny when sometimes the title is all you need to get something going, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, all right.
That's great. All right. Well, Ed wanted to start with the She-Hulk trailer and announcement.
Yes.
Again, She-Hulk got announced at Upfronts. It's officially titled She-Hulk Attorney at Law.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yes.
Little addition there. I didn't know if it's that was necessary, but okay, sure.
Yeah. So
why not?
In the trailer, we see good old Bruce Banner return. Mark Ruffalo returns as the Hulk.
Baby Bruce.
He's in Hulk form this time, but the last time we saw him was the end of Shang-Chi, and he was in Bruce Banner with an arm brace, and now he's perfectly fine, so I'm sure some questions will be answered there. But more importantly, we got a date. The date is August 17th, 2022.
Very soon.
Tatiana, I always butcher her last name, so Maslany.
Yeah.
She will be, she plays the title hero, She-Hulk. Anyway, the trailer came out, and I think there was a lot of feelings about it. Let's start there. What did you think of the trailer, and what did you think of the GFX? Because that's what people are. What do you think of the? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll go with the overall trailer first because I don't want to completely crap on it right away from the start.
Good
but
point.
it looks fun. It definitely looks fun. I'm excited to see Bruce back along with her. Although it was kind of a whiplash moment to just sort of, oh, there's another Hulk. Here's another Hulk. We had one Hulk before, and now here's just another one along with Bruce, and it feels a little, we didn't really talk about this in any of the other movies before. They never really hinted at it, I don't think, at least. And so it just kind of, it's a weird intro, but at the same time, I'm for it. Like, whatever, it's cool. But yeah, overall, I thought that trailer was good. Although I can't help but feel a bit of maybe some wokeness happening. That kind of, well, I mean, you got the jokes about, they got the feminist jokes, and like, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I hope it doesn't divulge too hard into that. One of the criticisms I have about the character so far is that she's complaining about having superpowers. And I'm like, that rubs me the wrong way. Like, why would you complain about that? She's like, why can't I just be like an attorney? I'm like, you clearly can switch between, or I don't know if there's like, she has the same, the thing as Bruce, where he can shift between Smart Hulk and just regular Bruce, or whatever. If she can, I'm like, bitch, don't really gonna complain about having superpowers. All right, whatever. That tells me a lot about this. Ain't no Captain America that we're about to see, which we'll see how it goes. But that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Anyway, okay, so there's that, and then the GFX, the CGI. Woo! That's I mean, if you thought Moon Knight was rough, this looks really not great.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. It's a full, I wonder if it's a full CGI replacement for She-Hulk.
It has to be, because it looks
so
like
rough.
Just a face on her. Like her face on a bigger character. Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Well, no, that's it. It's not good. Everyone's saying, all the internet, the first comments, which is not great for a new show, is everyone's just talking about how bad it looks.
Right.
And that all the comments are saying Fiona from Shrek.
Yes, Fiona from Shrek.
God damn it, which is so good. It's like if Shrek Fiona, went to Equinox or something. And that's it's rough. That's all I gotta say. It's rough. I mean, maybe they're fixing it, but it's pretty close. I don't know if there's any more time to fix it. It looks rough. What are your thoughts on? Yeah, I mean,
let's be honest here, dude. Like, I'll start with the CGI. It's close, guys. It's not look. There's James Cameron's way of creating a 3D character where the Avatar characters looked real. And then there's this. This is clearly a TV show. It's clearly a TV show budget. Now, I will say, if you think this looks bad, I will humble you and I will say, go watch The Flash or any other superhero TV show out there on the CW network, which I think all of them just got canceled. But
they did.
Yeah.
So I don't mean to laugh at that. I'm sorry, but
I think there's a Flash. There's a person where like this girl turns into a hulking monster herself. Go watch that, and then tell me this looks bad. Again, this is a TV budget, so I will say, look, I don't think it's gonna look much better than this. But yeah, it doesn't look great for Marvel, in my opinion. I don't think it people they associate Marvel with great looking visual effects, and this doesn't work. And you look at something like The Mandalorian or even Book of Boba Fett, all that stuff looked great because I think there was a good amount of practicality with it. So I think you're on. I think you're onto something. I think it's a full CGI replacement, and they're putting her face on it. And as you know, Ed will tell you because he's dove deep into the subject of it. They're basically deep faking her face, and that's why it's hard to do. Look at Luke from The Mandalorian. Like that probably cost them a lot of money to do that once, like those few scenes he's in. Now this is an entire show that they're doing it in. So yeah,
I'll say
rough,
this too.
yeah.
You know what? I actually don't. I'm not convinced they're doing deep faking. I think I think they remodeled her face. I think he got a 3D model of her face. This is almost like classic way of doing it. It doesn't seem like deep fake. But that being said, it's not even just her face, right? It's the whole body. Just
the body looks weird.
Something odd. It's weird. And remember, when you come off something like Tawret, or what, I forgot how you pronounce your name, like the freaking hippo in Moon Knight, which is one of the greatest CGI practical effects I've ever seen. And you go to this, it's just like, what happened? And sure, yeah, I guess a whole body having to, because her whole body stature has to change.
Right, exactly.
Right. Okay, I get that. But you also you have Bruce Banner, which we've done for a bunch of the movies, and maybe that effect is just so intensive that to do it on this scale is still just not. It's still not a thing. Right. It's just still not a thing.
Could be, man. Like you said. Banner is in it, and he does look good. And maybe that's just because his model's already built.
Yes, maybe.
And that's and they have to kind of go from scratch because you can't design a male character into a female character. The physiques are completely different. So
correct. I would imagine it's actually harder. I don't know.
Yeah, I would imagine
we rarely see it, but
yeah, exactly. I think it would be harder too. So yeah, the CGI is really rough. Maybe I want to just warn everybody because everyone's like, oh, it's not done yet. Like, we're pretty close to done here. Like,
no, yeah, I don't think we can expect.
Yeah, don't expect
to be
the world
better.
No,
right? Yeah, I don't think it will. So you might as well just get over it now.
Yeah.
And just be like, okay, it's not great, but maybe it still can be good.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to live with it, and hopefully the show is. I think the show itself looks great. I do agree there was that little bit of a, women. Oh, fear and anger is basically the definition of a woman's life. Like, okay, well, maybe I don't know. We're not women. Maybe it is. maybe it is. Maybe we're coming off incredibly sexist. I don't know. Don't care. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that like stuff like, I don't really.
And she's clearly like, again, she has this vibe of a millennial where she's just like, I want to chill. Like, exactly. That's a perfect.
Yeah, millennials are. Anyway.
Yeah.
But my God. The show itself, the humor in it, everything looks great in it. I think
looks like good. Yeah.
Bruce Banner looks funny. The side characters, this show has been pushed as a true comedy. Like it's going to be a sitcom about a bunch of stuff. And it does look like that. You have Abomination kind of going, it does look like it'll be that way. So I hope that'll help with the bad looking CGI. Like it'll fit together a little bit more. So yeah, I do think it looks good.
And Wong's in it.
Wong is in it. The Wong CU continues.
The Wong CU. I like that.
CU, yeah.
He's in a lot of stuff, man. He's in like every other project, and I freaking dig it. I dig it.
I'm with it. Yeah,
I love it.
I love Wong. In Shang-Chi, keen-eyed people have noticed when he opens the portal, Abomination walks to the cell that you see in She-Hulk. So Marvel continuing with the great
continuation, baby. Love it.
Great continuity there.
Love it.
I think the show looks fun. The CGI we're just going to have to live with it, I think. And again, to cool people's nerves about it or anger, go watch something on the CW and then tell me this looks bad. Right. Because you'll shut up. You'll be like, oh, okay. Again, sure, they'll be like, oh, but Marvel has big budgets. Yeah, but this still isn't a movie budget, and it's still not done in movie time. Like, movie shoot a year and a half in advance.
I still think it's the complication of the effect itself. You have to understand what the effect is.
Yeah.
A whole body physique has to be blown up muscular. You can't, that's difficult. I don't even think you can do that practically at all, which is probably why they went this direction. And that must have been like a balloon budget, and they were like, "Can you just do your best? We don't have the money to do this, but there's no other way to do it. There's just no other way to do it." So I'm gonna throw them a bone on it, and I do think the movie it looks good. I'm more excited for this than Miss Marvel. I'll say that. How about that? I am more excited about this than Miss Marvel. So
2 things on that. One, I agree. I am very, very excited for this show. Just on the basis that supposedly the rumors are, and I think with Wong coming back, they might be more true. But some of the like synopsis and pitches for it were, Matt Murdock will show up. He's an attorney. She's an attorney. Other heroes will show up.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Because remember, what she does is she protects superheroes. That's her job.
Who'd be perfect to show up?
Who?
Foggy.
I think Foggy will show up.
Foggy should be great to show up.
Set up the Daredevil. It's like it's no coincidence that the same week this trailer premieres, Disney Plus also announces Daredevil will.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's not a surprise. There's no, I wonder why they did that now. No, come on.
I would think Foggy would make a great fit, right? Like him just bannering with Bruce and her. Seems great. I think that might work. Yeah.
I love it. And then the second thing I want to say is I would agree that I am more excited than Miss Marvel, but the most recent trailer they released for Miss Marvel does look better than anything I've seen so far.
It's a lot better than the original trailer. That's for sure.
It is weird to me that her powers are like Green Lantern. I guess they had to redo the powers. I don't really know why. I don't know. I don't know much about Miss Marvel, so I don't want to say anything and offend anybody. It's weird. Her powers are weird.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about. I made a comment to you, Alex, about that. I'm like, is it what did I say? Like conjuring thought power is just fucking. It's weird and
it's just Green Lantern. Yeah,
kind of lame. At least visually speaking,
it's lame.
It's
That's
lame.
the word.
It's just, because the dude like brings out a tank like out of nowhere. I'm like, what? Yeah. Like that's weird to bring out a tank and F7s and I'm like,
look, I'm gonna push my hand and it's just gonna get into a bigger fist. Wait, that's what you do? That's it?
It's so weird. It's an odd power. I think it's just visually how it's been represented is just odd. I think here though it seems a lot more acceptable. I would think that the visual effect I see in my head for that, if they just made it a little bit more vague as to what the actual thing is, I think it'd be better because at least it's abstract. But when you bring in like straight up, like here's an actual thing, it just seems so stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
There's something so dumb about it. It doesn't seem practical. I don't know.
It's a little lame, but I will say this show filmed before Moon Knight and was pushed back. So, and I will say the VFX on her powers, even though they're weird, it looks good. So look,
they look good.
Here's with a little bit more time. This is what Marvel can do.
Yeah.
But I think that the latest trailer finally looks good. I do still have one massive question.
What's that?
Because it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm sure Marvel will explain it. But how is this girl such a big fan of Captain Marvel? Captain Marvel did not exist. She's only, from our eyes, we've only seen her in Endgame for like 5 minutes. And then in 1995 or 4, whenever the hell she came in Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And then she's gone. And like maybe she was around for the 5 years they all blipped more so on Earth.
No, that's a great point. No, there's a huge hole here. It's like, and there's that Captain Marvel. I don't know if they're in the museum or something.
Yeah.
But it's like she's a star. It's like she's a huge like Iron Man level.
Yes.
Popularity.
When did that happen?
When did that happen? She's like I feel like she went off planet.
Also, we know she's off planet because the ending of what was the one before No Way Home?
Far From Home?
Far From Home. Thank you. Nick Fury is in space with her.
Right.
So we know she's in space.
Is she? Well, we just know that Fury is in space, but maybe they're not
if she's
conversing.
There, she's got to be there. No way.
I mean, he's
up there without her.
Well,
anyway,
I'll say this though. In Endgame, there is the 5-year jump, and she does show up right in the hologram. So she was around. Like people got to know her. At least the team did.
But she's on space.
But I'm sure she just travels back and says, "What's up?" I don't know. You're right. I don't know. But there's some time there that she could have hung around, tried to help people during the what do they call it?
The blip.
No, not the blip. The blip is when they come back. But
Oh, right.
the snap, just whatever.
Oh, the snap.
What do
Yeah.
you call that? Like that time, that 5-year time.
5 years.
You know.
But another thing about that, after we're going off the rails here, we got to get back on track.
Yeah, let's go check.
But another thing about that is weird. That why does the public have so much knowledge of the final fight? Thanos versus it happened in a secluded area.
Okay, that's a good point. I was gonna say, well, you know, okay, I'm sure they obviously debriefed the Avengers for what happened,
but why does the public know about it?
Well, again, like when you have world wars, I mean, it's pretty well documented, you know, and they
this wasn't a world war. This was one battle.
It's a fucking galactic war on Earth. Yeah, I don't know, man. I believe it. It's fine.
It's weird. I'm like, wait a minute. I have a question here.
Also, it's odd.
Never mind. All right. Well, that's She-Hulk attorney at law.
When you have a group of amazing superheroes who save the Earth, that's something that you want to tell everybody right away.
Stop
that's all I'm going to
defending
say.
It doesn't make sense.
They want to teach it in schools, okay? Fuck sex ed. Captain America fucking helped.
Doesn't make
Iron
sense.
Man sacrificed himself. These are heroes we need in this time of depression.
But why do they know specific details? Oh, Captain Marvel showed up and she held her own.
Most of the team is alive. They interviewed Pepper Potts. You know,
whatever.
Oh, that's good. Pepper Potts deals with the public. So they were like, "You got armor. Like that's cool. Tell us about the fight." Like,
all right, well, whatever. Anyway,
all right.
So, that's the bit of news on She-Hulk attorney at law, August 17th. I do think the show is going to be. It does look really funny. I hope there's not too much, wokeness in it. Like, me too. I think there's a time and place for it. I don't think Marvel shows are the time or the place.
Yeah, well,
in my opinion, but whatever. From a She-Hulk news to some more Disney Plus news. This is all going to be Disney Plus news, guys. Spoiler alert. Kathleen Kennedy was also at Upfronts, and she admitted that Star Wars will no longer be trilogies. The future of Star Wars belongs on TV, Disney Plus.
Great.
Yeah, not very surprising, I would say.
No.
Ed, what do you think about it? Do you think there should be more Star Wars movies? Or what?
Okay, first of all, anything that deals with Kathleen Kennedy, it's like anybody who's been following the Star Wars movies, particularly, it's like Kathleen Kennedy's the devil, or she's the next Hitler. Jesus Christ! Like with the Star Wars fans, at least.
Oh, yeah,
Star Wars fans.
I don't think Star Wars fans like her.
I'm gonna go and say, yeah, no, they don't. No, they don't. Yeah, look, anybody who knows Kathleen Kennedy and her historic run with Star Wars so far, it's not great. It's not fun. A lot of people would say wrong direction, and then she's the one to blame for how the modern trilogy went. And yeah, I would probably say that's a good assessment. So her saying this is like, yeah, great, but it's also just a trickling down of something that should have happened a long time ago. Mm-hmm. It's just her pleasing the fans more or less. I don't think she could care less anymore. No. That's my honest opinion. Is that I think she could care less about the Star Wars trilogy and anything that has to do with it. And I think she would love to just throw it all to Feige. In fact, I think the whole Feige doing the next Star Wars film is a complete start of that. And I really hope it does happen because, yeah, she's not the right person for it. Everyone knows it. So good job, Kathleen, that you went up on to the PR and finally said what you should have said a long time ago. Good for you.
Yeah.
Just stop. Yeah, that's fine. That's all I have to say. Yeah, great. This is all good.
I think this spells real bad news for Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron. I don't think that film's going to get made.
Probably not.
Which is such a silly thing because they made such an epic video of her rollerblading and saying, "Here's the epicness. I'm bringing Rogue Squadron to you," but no one gives a shit about.
My father flew planes. I'm the right person to do this because my father flew a plane,
and I can
not an X-wing because X-wings don't exist.
Right.
But
weird decision. Anyway,
let's be honest. If we actually liked her as a director and we loved Wonder Woman, we'd be like, dude, that's a dope video, and it was a dope video. But We just don't really think that was a good fit, though.
Maybe that was a dope video for some people, not for me.
No, not at all. It rubbed you the wrong way. Okay.
It didn't rub me the wrong
I
way.
thought it was
I
a
just
good
thought it was
idea.
cheesy. I was like, why is
It
she
was
rollerblading?
It
I don't
was
get
cheesy.
it. Why are you what does rollerblading have to do with fucking flying a fucking plane? I don't understand what's happening. Are they gonna rollerblade in the movie?
Because you don't see women rollerblade.
Oh my god. Go to a roller derby. See a bunch of women rollerblading.
It would be so funny if they panned down and it was the roller derby skates and not like inline skates. That'd be so great.
Anyway.
She might as well come in on one of those, what do you call those things that you just ride?
A Segway?
Yeah, Segway. That'd been great.
Like Paul Blart?
Yeah. That'd have been so great.
Anyway.
I'm all about speed.
It seems like it's the right move.
Yeah.
They said Mandalorian will be coming, season 3 of Mandalorian will be coming in late 2022, early 2023. That usually means early 2023.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the right move. Obi-Wan Kenobi's coming out. After that, you have Ahsoka, you have the one from, I don't remember the name of it. What's the name of the one from where Rogue One? That guy, the side character from Rogue One, who's getting his own show. Oh God,
I totally forgot about that. The one who'd already died.
Yeah, Diego Luna's show. I don't know the name of the show. I don't understand
Rebels?
Why we're doing that show. It's not called.
No, it's not Rebels because that's
a cartoon that they made already.
Sorry, no, I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember.
Anyway, you get the point. It does make
cares?
sense now that they're just sticking toward the TV. It does make me a little sad because deep down, everything's going to be connected to the Skywalkers now.
Yeah.
They're never going to leave it, which I hate. I cannot explain to you my hatred of the Skywalker saga. I'm so over it, but we're going to get more of it with Obi-Wan. We're going to see a young Luke. We're most likely going to see Luke again in The Mandalorian because he's got Grogu back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does make me sad. I do hope maybe we get to see like a Western style TV show that is way, way in the future or way, way in the past, and the Skywalkers don't exist. That'd be great.
Well, you got the Kevin. The movie world is not being left behind. The Kevin Feige movie's coming that says that it's all new.
The only one still there.
Also, this week we heard that the Taika Waititi Star Wars movie is coming, and it has to deal with like young kids, something like that, 12 to 16.
That's
is that different?
That's another TV show.
That's by John Watts. Wow, there's a lot of Disney news. I didn't realize, Star Wars news.
Yeah,
there's another one. I meant to do that.
That takes place during the same time as The Mandalorian. Listen, it's just Stranger Things, but in the Star Wars world. That's literally what it is. They're like 4 years late to it because the Stranger Things is about to end.
Nobody cares.
I mean, it's a fun show, but when you wait 2.5 years to give you a new season, you lose interest in it, I think.
Yeah, it's a fun show, but let's be honest, the last seasons did not live up to that first season. In fact, they're basically rehashes of that first season. So
I didn't mind. I didn't mind season 3.
3 was fine. 3 was fine.
I didn't like season 2. I mean, I liked the Dustin relationship with the.
What's
his name? Steve. Steve relationship. That was a fun relationship. Other than that, didn't give a shit about the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll talk about Stranger Things maybe next week or the week after because they're releasing fucking movies as episodes.
Yeah.
Like no wonder Netflix stopped making the show. What? They had to cost like I read it cost like $30 million episode.
It's got to be the most expensive show. It has to be.
Yeah, more expensive than the House of Dragon show that's coming out.
Yeah.
On HBO Max.
It's their biggest IP. It's Netflix's hugest show. It is, right?
I would argue Cobra Kai is their biggest show.
Well, not obviously not in terms of budget.
True. Cobra Kai.
And it still does not have the reach as everyone knows what Stranger Things is.
I don't know, man. Everyone I know loves Cobra Kai.
Oh no, of course I love Cobra Kai.
Even people I don't think like.
But some people still don't watch that. But some people still don't watch that show. everyone has more or less has seen Stranger Things. Like it's almost iconic at this point. I mean,
Yeah, you might be right. You're
it's
probably
pop
right.
culture, you know.
Anyway,
I wish Cobra Kai was in that place.
We're getting sidetracked again.
Yeah, what were we
God
talking
damn it.
about? Jesus,
We're
all
talking
right.
about the
Disney
Star
Plus.
Wars Stranger Things show. John Watts is doing that.
Yeah.
No more Star Wars movies. I think it's a fine move. Or trilogies, sorry. There's still going to be
Yeah.
Star Wars movies, but they'll be standalone. It's hopefully a better thing. Again, I do think that Kevin Feige will eventually leave Marvel and take over Star Wars at one point. And I think that what the hell happens to Marvel, we'll find out. But
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he did that. And because
I'm dead surprised they haven't given it to Jon Favreau. I really thought they would have by now.
Yeah, I think that maybe like they're hoping Kevin Feige comes over, takes over the Star Wars realm and world, and that's essentially that he can do for Star Wars what he did for Marvel. And
yeah, of course.
look, Star Wars is still a massive franchise. I mean, there's fucking theme parks based around it, for Christ's sake.
Of course.
So like it won't be like the same deal, but from the fans' perspective, it would make him almost a godlike figure.
Of course. More than he already is, you mean? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because like look, Marvel was on the verge of bankruptcy when Kevin Feige came in and did Iron Man. Yeah. And like that's why Marvel doesn't have the rights to Spider-Man, or they didn't have the rights to X-Men or the Fantastic Four. They just sell those rights to Sony, to Fox, in order to save their asses.
Yeah.
And look what he's done with it. It's now, I would argue, probably $1 trillion franchise. So if he can do that with Star Wars in the fans' eyes, because look, I think the sequels did leave a bad taste in their mouth. If you can do that,
Obviously.
then why wouldn't you? I would be like, hell yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll be heck yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But it's
that's
also doing the entire MCU is a whole feat into and of itself.
Right.
Doing a whole nother thing. I mean, I don't know that guy. If do it concurrently with each other, I don't know.
No, he would leave Marvel.
No, there's no way.
I would say he takes a massive step back, and someone else comes in and runs Marvel.
Would you want that? Because
I'm not saying it's what I want. I'm saying it's what I think is going to happen.
I don't think it will.
You think he's just all the way?
Marvel? I don't think he. Yeah, I mean, he's all in. Do you think? I don't think he's just gonna just
walk away.
Leave? No, not for. No, this is his baby.
I don't know, man. I feel like he could say, you know what?
You think he could?
I've done. Well, if I'm him, if I'm honest, I would have left after Endgame. I did it.
Interesting.
I created the greatest comic book movie you will ever see.
I think he has more up his sleeve. Obviously. I mean,
he does. A word on that. I do think that like Marvel. So the newer comics in Marvel are not popular, and they're not really well written. And I think that as you get into these new characters, you have to be careful because Kevin Feige is very faithful to the source material. Maybe it's time to start coming up with new ideas and new stories for these characters to go into.
Possibly. I mean, there's no shortage of characters, but
I think that's where he would be like, "Oh, time to go."
Yeah. Maybe. I definitely think he's going to go through this next maybe 3 phases at least. I think he's going to see out until the next big event, and then Secret at that point, whatever it could be. I think he'll last till then, and then from then maybe he'll rethink because by then it'll be 20 years possibly that he's done it. We went through the first 10, next 10, and then he'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'm just saying that because I don't want him to leave.
Right.
He's a Mozart of our time. I don't know what else to say. The guy's
I know. I completely agree. I just think that like, and source material will run dry at some point, and I think you have more.
But it's arguable that there's so much more MCU playground to play with than there was Star Wars. So
Star Wars, you can do whatever you want, right?
But they're not doing it. That's the thing. Is that
that's a good point.
They clearly don't want to do it.
You're right.
So let's see. Either way, it's a good thing. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing either way.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway,
anywhere where Feige goes, it's a good day for anybody.
That's the Star Wars news mixed with some Stranger Things news.
Weird.
Yeah, mixed with a bunch of other stuff we're talking about. So much shit we're talking about today. All Disney Plus. And the final little bit of news we're going to go through before we get into, it's a perfect segue, actually.
Oh.
Marvel Disney Plus announced this week at Upfronts that our old friend Matt Murdock will continue.
Yeah.
Season 4, essentially, of Daredevil will be coming to Disney Plus. It will be. They haven't fully confirmed it's a continuation, but they're saying it's in the same universe. It's a continuation of sorts.
Right.
So I think we're gonna get old Foggy's coming back. Karen's coming back, and I think it's gonna be really, really cool. And in terms of like casting, this is like one of the greatest castings Marvel's ever made. Charlie Cox. I thought Charlie Cox was a real blind man the first time I saw Daredevil. I was like, how did you do that? But anyway, Ed, how excited are you for Daredevil season 3 or 4?
4. Yeah,
Daredevil
I know.
Season 4, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm super excited. Are you kidding me? Daredevil is probably still one of the greatest superhero, if not the greatest superhero TV show ever made. I think
Definitely the greatest, I would say.
It's freaking. It just came by storm, and yeah, I agree. Charlie Cox, dude, he's still pretty underrated. Like people don't understand just how incredible his performance is. As I don't want anybody else. Like when people announce that if like. Once the Disney, or sorry, not the Disney Plus shows, the Marvel shows, that show was kind of not really continuing. We didn't know where it was going to go, if Studios was going to pick it up, and we didn't know. Like I was heartbroken knowing that maybe that was it. That's all we had of Charlie. And now that I know that he made his entrance at No Way Home, dude. You too. We yelled just as loud as almost any of the other people because that is huge, and he's just incredible. So, dude, obviously, really, really excited. I think what's interesting, talking about how they're being wishy-washy about the fact, like, well, yeah, it's a continuation, but it's like kind of not of that one that but it is. I think what they're saying there is that basically. Charlie Cox is coming back as Daredevil, but it's probably not it's going to be different in tone. And I think they're going to do away with some of the characters that we come to know there. Like, I don't think we're going to see like the same Elektra. I don't think we're going to see some of the other people in there. I don't even know if we're going to have Karen, to be honest. I think we're going to probably get Foggy, but I think what's going to happen is we're going to get more of here's Matt Murdock, that one that you remember, and how he's going to fit into the people you already know, like more so of what happened in No Way Home. Like I think we're going to get more of that, and that's what they're trying to distinguish. It's like, don't think of the last one too hard, like because if you do, you might be disappointed. We're going to go in a new direction, but it definitely like ties back to that one, so don't let it go. So I think that's what they're trying to say. What do you think that they're? What do you think? How do you read it?
I think you're pretty dead on, actually, because I don't think it's going to be an exact continuation. I think it's going to be like, hey, here's a Matt Murdock, Oh, by the way, he's a little different now.
Right.
He's now talking about how good of a lawyer he is, and he's got that little, he's grown up a little bit. He's got the swagger back. Here's Foggy, and I do think we'll see a lot of Karen because I think she was a popular character. Although
I love her.
She annoyed the shit out of me sometimes with some of her decisions. But
of course.
But yeah, I think that's a sign of a good character. Maybe.
Yeah, let's see her back.
I think we see, and that's the end of it. Everyone else is different. I don't know how ground level it'll be, depending on like I want to see Kingpin. I don't think we'll get him back. And it'll be interesting because, when they introduced Kingpin and Hawkeye, he had like taken over the city, right? He was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So like, are we going to get? Here's what I would love. Let me do this. I would love to show Daredevil, him protecting the city during the blip. We see Kingpin's rise, and we see what Matt was doing there. That's what I would love.
Great idea. Yes.
Thank you. I would love that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
We get we don't have a show about what happened during the blip, do we?
Right. No, like, because I want to.
All hell must have broken loose.
Marvel needs to stop doing what Morbius did. Stop taking liberties.
Yeah.
And he like thinking, oh, here's this guy. It's just because it's Wilson Fisk. We should be excited. Like, no, I need a little bit more than that, Marvel. Like, I understand that he's Wilson Fisk, and don't get me wrong, I was very excited to see him in Hawkeye, but I need to know why he's so big and how he has control of all these people. Right. Also, you've got Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Charlie Cox saying these are the same characters. So last time we saw Wilson Fisk, he was in jail. He got taken off to jail. How to get out of jail? Was it the blip? Also, why is he bigger? Why is he basically invulnerable all of a sudden?
Yeah. No, that's a great idea, dude.
There's questions that need to be answered for me.
That's a great idea. I think it obviously leads. You could totally do a show where that completely leads up to that. Also, you could actually probably explain how they got him to be Spider-Man's attorney. Like someone must have known,
right? Exactly.
Maybe a little bit, like known who he was, and been like, you can probably help Peter out,
right? Yeah.
You know, hey, that would make sense too.
Yeah, like if Spider-Man blips back and then obviously, you know, Matt will notice someone's protecting the city that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think
it's a good idea.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That's where I would like the story to go. I do have an interesting theory that I want to run by you because I don't know if you're going to think I'm crazy, but I do think all the characters from the Netflix shows are staying. I think Kristen Ritter will be back as Jessica Jones, Mike Coulter as Luke Cage, and I do think Finn Jones will be back as Iron Fist. Marvel does things very meticulously, on purpose. You know, they released a bunch of trailers. They got the stars to all come back and say, "Hey, Iron Fist now on Disney Plus." Like maybe that was in their contract, maybe that wasn't, or maybe they still have a contract that needs to be filled.
Yeah.
So, I think all those characters are coming back.
I 100% agree. 100%. I don't see how you go. Here's Charlie Cox back, but none of them, and not them. And you just get rid of all these characters? No, there's no way. People would be disappointed, and people loved all those castings and those characters too. So, and they brought Black Bolt back, which who the fuck saw that coming? Because Inhumans was such shit.
Right.
No one cared. No one saw it.
That just completely and totally adds to it. But no one liked Finn Jones as Iron Fist.
No, but they're gonna keep him. He was barely the problem, obviously. I think.
Yeah, it's the direction of the show and all that.
I don't hate that guy at all. It's just everything else is just trash. But I think we can totally we'll see them back. I think we'll see them as their characters. How will be interesting. How do they factor into the new sort of Marvel Studio storyline? We'll find out. I don't know how that fits in. I will say I just really want oh my god, how am I forgetting his name right now? Punisher.
He's back. 100%. John Bernthal.
What's his name? John Bernthal. John Bernthal. Amazing. I just want to see him back.
Oh, he's back. He's 100% back.
I hope so, because he's great.
There's been like a bunch of, from all these upfront stuff, there was a bunch of news saying Punisher project is in development.
Good, because that season was pretty good. I
like both seasons of the Punisher.
Sorry. Oh yeah, two. Oh my god, I totally forgot there were two.
Yeah.
How long has it been since that show came out?
So it's been at least 3 years. Yeah.
19.
Been at least 3 years because all that stuff ended, and Marvel has to wait 2 years before they can actually use those characters.
Yeah.
So like, and I think Daredevil's was buttoned right up on the 2-year mark.
Wow.
Because Daredevil got canceled like in October, November 2019. And then, 2 years later, there he is in December. Yeah. So all those characters have to be buttoned up for 2 years.
I gotta rewatch that show.
Jessica Jones' date just passed, so she's good to use again. And now Mike Coulter's date just passed. He's good to use. And the very, very last one that just passed was the Punisher. Yeah. It passed, and he's good to use now.
Do you think we will see in their shows come back? I don't think so. But what do you think we'll see?
No.
Jessica Jones season? I don't think so either. Yeah.
I think
those are over.
Yeah, I think if we do, we see the superheroes for hire Mike Coulter and Finn Jones, Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Wait, that's the same person. Oh no, I got him right. Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Yeah, Luke Cage and Iron Fist together. Like we'll see a dual show. Sure. But honestly, I think that's even a far stretch. Daredevil is.
I don't think so either.
Daredevil's basically for TV wise. I think Daredevil's Spider-Man. That's how big he is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Use him. Will he have a successful movie ever? Probably not. But he doesn't need one.
No. It's a huge success already. It's a huge success. Yeah.
I think we see these guys kind of folded into like. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Finn Jones in Shang-Chi too.
Interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if the character was completely rewritten. Like this is not the same Finn Jones, you know.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one loved that story whatsoever.
But really, all we want for Shang-Chi 2 is one and only Jackie Chan. Do it. Come on. Be in the MCU, Jackie.
I try not to think about that on a monthly or weekly basis, but I do. And it will hurt me if he's not in it. It's just going to hurt me so bad, dude.
I would love it.
They got to. It would be such a win. It would be such the biggest win.
Yeah.
But also let's not pull out the fact that they could also just get some of the other greats like Jet Li or Donnie Yen. Who again already in Disney because he's already done Star Wars. So that wouldn't be too bad of a pull. So he could right there. Yeah, but we need. I want to see a huge one of our childhood
idols,
martial artists back in there.
Yeah.
Dude,
come on, dude.
Chan, before he's too. I mean, he basically is a little too old now, but still, like before, he can do it. He can do something still.
He could be some sort of mentor.
Yeah. But I want to see. I want to see him fight Shang-Chi, like in a if it's just like a practice or in the dojo or whatever. Dude, like that would be.
I would lose my mind. It'd be so cool.
Shit.
Yeah,
I'd lose my shit.
But yeah, so that's all the news this week. I mean, there was a bunch more news that came out. So go read about it somewhere. I don't know.
A lot of Disney Plus. And plus,
it's all Disney Plus
right now. Anyways,
we're very sorry. Disney Plus is. It's just
it's Disney Plus Day. It's our Disney Plus episode at this point. Yes.
It was National Streaming Day, so we figured we'd focus on Disney Plus shows.
I didn't even know that. So
anyway. Ed and I thought it was about time for us to do a tier list, our first official tier list. So what we're doing is we are going to rank the Marvel Disney Plus shows, guys. Like I said before, we may have some disagreements. We may not. Ed, how would you like to do this, sir? WandaVision, that premiered January of 2021, over a year ago, unbelievably.
Yeah.
As we all know, this is Wanda's Breaking Bad story.
Breaking Bad season 1 through like 4, because like Multiverse of Madness was like season 5 through 6, where she just goes batshit, like just straight up Heisenberg.
Brilliant, yes. Where she's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Kind of crap.
Yes.
Anyway, that premiered in January 2022. Ed, I'll let you go first on this one. Where would you like to place it? In the S, A, B, C, D, E.
E. No, I'm just kidding. No. No, WandaVision was great. I liked WandaVision a lot, except probably the last 2 episodes were not great. Particularly the last episode is probably one of the more disappointing finales in all the Disney Plus shows so far.
Yes.
But overall, I was intrigued by how different it was, and I did like this, like the whole idea of every episode being in a different type of show genre. I loved going through all that. I thought it was fun and fresh and cool, and it had some great emotional beats with Vision, but it just didn't stick the landing. I don't think it was even close.
No,
to sticking that damn landing.
So bad.
So I'm gonna place it at a B. Which I think is fair. What do you think about that? How did you feel?
I actually would agree. It's a BC. I actually would kind of maybe throw it right here for me.
Can you do that? Is that allowed? This is our first ranking, people. Is this allowed? Jesus.
We're allowed.
It's a big move.
I put it BC territory.
Oh, shit. All right. So
because BC. I think that for me, the show is it just starts to it just loses the steam so fast.
It loses the steam. It loses the steam.
And that I just don't know why it does that. I just don't understand how it could just go from being, oh, here's all this intrigue. It's really cool. It's really good. And then the landing comes and it's like, what?
Just completely
What?
falters.
So, and then she's just off the hook. That really bothered me.
The off the hook
just
thing.
off the hook.
Yeah. What was the Monica Rambeau line that we just absolutely fucking hate? What did she say?
They'll never know what you sacrificed.
I mean, I just wanted to throw up when I heard that line. I was like, who wrote that line?
No.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How do you go from grief is what is grief but
love everlasting.
Love everlasting, one of the greatest fucking lines in all of the MCU, to that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Good Lord. I hated that too.
Yeah.
Worst.
It really bugged me. That line stuck with me and just like, like I get it. She's a hero. You want her to be a hero. But the leap she makes from this to Doctor Strange, holy shit. And even in Doctor Strange, she was fucking given a pass.
Yes.
So
hate
yeah,
it.
the treatment of her character, like Marvel, you need to either go full villain or not.
Yeah.
So like this, like teetering, I'm gonna do the right thing. All of a sudden,
tease
I don't
on
need
either
it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need it. Like
Could do
if you're
without
gonna
it.
do that, you need to do what like I need like a Days of Future Past Magneto.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna help you, but I'm gonna help you because of out of what I need. And then when the time is right, you're gonna be out of the game because I'm gonna take control and do what needs to be done.
That is a great point that I never thought about. That's a great, like, having her arc and personality be similar to Magneto's would have been a brilliant railing to had gone on because he is one of the greatest villain, basically still a villain, but like you never know where he really lies. He still has some morality to him. That would have been they should have followed that. They should have followed that because he had a lot of loss too, in with his family, and then he had another family, and then they killed his next family too. Like the dude has been through some fucking crazy tragedy.
And the person that could always keep Magneto grounded was Professor X. That's X-Men First Class. We'll do a tier ranking on First Class because X-Men First Class on X-Men movies.
X-Men. That'd be great.
Yeah, X-Men First Class is my favorite X-Men movie of all time.
Yeah,
I think it's
favorite of all time.
All time. I think it's the best one.
I think it's my second.
But in the newer sequels, it's always Xavier kind of it's always Charles always kind of anchoring down Xavier to make sure he doesn't he's that other side of him.
He does his best.
And in Doctor Strange, she doesn't have that.
No, she has no one.
That's why I think Doctor Strange faltered a little. But this is about WandaVision.
Yeah.
I do love Vision's story. Vision, I mean, God, the lines he put out. Paul Bettany, what a great performance, man.
Emmy worthy. All these performances are very Emmy worthy.
Yes.
You can't make that decision for me, Wanda. Good Lord.
Dude, that was a great
scene.
No, your fucking accent was perfect. That was great. You sounded just like him. Wow.
Won't say I haven't done that line in the taking a shower every once in a while. No, I'm just kidding. I love that line. That delivery from him was awesome. What a great scene. Yeah.
That's that. I think that episode was the best episode of the series because as they're arguing, the doorbell rings and then Maximoff is there. Pietro.
Yeah, but then we find out he's boner, and that kind of sucked. But
again, that's another thing where it fell flat. He's
fell flat.
Boner.
That was not worth it. Not worth it.
We all kind of at that point knew it was Agatha. Agatha all along was great, but
all along so good. Yeah, a lot of good stuff, and then it just went on the last episode.
Because like the mystery and the intrigue that they built along the first two episodes were great, where the guy starts choking, and then Wanda sees at the end of the second episode, they go outside and Wanda sees the guy with the beekeeper, mask or outfit. That right there should have been the time to start dropping in hints that Wanda's the bad guy.
Right.
Wanda's turned.
Yeah. I agree.
It's not just her grief. Like
I also love that dinner scene at the end of season 1 was great.
Yeah.
That where it turns into like straight up horror almost. Yeah. I'm like, that's all like Twilight Zone. I was like, good. Like that's good. Yeah. Anyway, so BC for WandaVision. And these are all the way I think that rankings work is that once you start ranking them, we can probably place that in a more
We can move them a little bit as we
can
go.
move them depending on what we consider. So let's
Nothing's
see
concrete
falls
here.
into place here. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll keep this
Relativity.
around. We'll add to it and just subtract from it.
All right.
As we see fit. All right. So you took WandaVision. I'm gonna go with the next show on the list, which is Falcon and Winter Soldier. That premiered after WandaVision. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Here's another show that didn't stick the landing at all. I mean, you want to talk about the first 3 or 4 episodes of this series are amazing.
Incredible.
Baron Zemo, he fucking dancing in the
dance
club.
stream. Oh,
are you kidding me? And then you just fell flat. Episode 5 and 6. You also had John Walker, U.S. agent. You see him slowly deteriorate during the show, which is such a like a side story that they don't even talk about very much.
Right.
Like you see him he loses his best friend and he ends up taking the super soldier serum. Anyway, I'm actually going to drop this into C territory.
Okay.
Ed, you can tell me if you think that's too low. Where would you put it? We can move it.
I think I would put it higher.
Okay, where would you put it?
I like it. I ended up liking that show more than WandaVision.
Okay, convince me to move it, and I'll move it.
I don't know if I can convince anybody to move it. Because I like it for my own personal reasons. Okay, here's why I like that show. Okay. I think which is the Baron Zemo episode? 3 or 2?
3. He gets introduced in
3,
3,
right?
And 4 they go to the place.
Yes. I think episode 3 is one of the greatest episodes of TV I've ever seen, in all honesty. I know that sounds insane, but when I promise you, when I watch that episode, it's a great fucking episode of TV. One, because Baron Zemo is one of my favorite villains of the MCU, and they brought him back and made him somehow more the best character on the show at that point. Make him more relatable, someone that you kind of hate but you kind of love too. The dancing scene's amazing. The dancing scene's amazing. But that episode in and of itself had great pacing. So much stuff happens. There's a lot of great action. It's funny. You visit like 3 areas. What's it called? Madrigal? No. What's that place called?
Madrigal. That's fucking Encanto, bro.
Sorry. Wait, is that where am I getting Madrigal from?
Madrigal. That's Encanto.
Whatever. Is it Encanto? I forget.
That's where they are in Encanto.
I don't know how I'm pulling from Encanto.
Hold on.
Whatever that place is. Yeah. No, but yeah, and you have these great you have these great characters with the duo again with Falcon and Winter Soldier. The Madripoor. Madripoor. Okay, I wasn't like completely off.
Yeah, you went too far.
Madripoor. Okay, sorry. But the series in general I thought was great. The themes of like Sam thinking, wondering if he should take up the mantle, and the political, the socio-political stuff with race, I thought was great. What's his face with what's the old black man who used to be the Captain America?
The other Captain America. I forgot about that storyline.
Isaiah Thomas, right?
Yes.
Great story. Great thing that they focused on, and they really gave, I think, a good amount of time to, and they even wrapped up at the end. I thought was a great side story. I just love that story. Where the show falters is with the what's the group called? The Wolfies? I don't know. The whatever.
The hands, the bad guys. Yeah.
That didn't pan out very well, but I didn't think they hurt the show. But and then John Walker, like you said, a great performance by Wyatt Russell. I think they could have went further, and I think they will go further. They set up U.S. agent. Great moments where you see him just like take the serum and just go off the deep end. Talk about Breaking Bad. And then so I loved the show all the way up until
Flag Smashers.
Flag Smashers. What did I say? Wolf. I don't know why
you said Wolf. I was like, I don't think Wolf is close, but Flag Smashers.
I failed on that.
You love the show until.
But up until like the last episode is absolute ass. Yeah. Again, like WandaVision, that
really
episode is just such trash. I've mocked the final thematic.
His monologue is not great.
It's so cringe, dude. It's so cringe. Like, I don't know how do you go from doing all that great buildup with the politics, even like the themes of that, and then just at the end he just goes on some woke rant That sounded like it was some like 22-year-old who just graduated fucking college. Like, what the fuck? This is our new Captain America. All right.
Yeah.
What did you think of the show, and why do you think?
So for
Where do you
me,
place it?
I think it's just that last episode that really sours me. It just, I think you cannot. I feel like maybe it's just because it was 6 episodes and they absolutely needed to wrap so much up. I mean, you had so many storylines.
There was.
You had the Flag Smashers. You had, the difficulty for Captain America to pick up the shield, or Sam pick up the shield of Captain America. You had Bucky's, conflict with being able to be himself and not killing Baron Zemo. Remember?
Oh, dude, I forgot. Wait, Bucky's line is great too.
Yeah.
The bullets and they coming to terms with himself. But I totally forgot the whole therapy session stuff was really good. I like that about his character. You're right. I forgot about that.
You had all that going. I
forgot about
you had U.S. Agent storyline that needed to be put up together, and don't forget, you also had Sharon Carter, who's actually the fucking power broker.
Oh, the power broker.
Her storyline, and it just felt like there's so much to be done that just didn't. It fell flat, and then yes, again, the why do you need to include the monologue?
I don't know.
Just say you don't understand what it's like to pick up the shield, because let's be honest, you don't understand what it's like to pick up the shield. You could have just left it at something like that.
Yeah, that would have been powerful enough.
But
but then he just comes off as preachy and whiny. And
he comes off as preachy. So, and you don't need it, because maybe another actor could get a better way out of it. Maybe Idris Elba would be better at it. I don't know. But I am worried. I have said this before. I am worried about him carrying his own franchise as Captain America. Yeah. I don't think he commands the screen as well as Bucky does.
Yeah.
So that's
Chris Evans, obviously.
Or Chris Evans, right, as the last Captain America.
You need to do better, Senator. God, I hate that line. I hate that line.
The whole last thing is not great because it's contradictory. It's like, I know your job's hard. You need to be better. Like, wait a minute, what? Well, which is it?
Exactly. Like he should have. I thought he had an understanding of how the system is, and instead of like pointing fingers and being like da 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 da.
I will say though, as you went through the recap of the show, I do remember liking it more and more. I think that it's just because it's the last thing I have of the show is that last episode. But you're right. There are Bucky's internal conflict in that show is amazing. We get the Dora Milaje in here. They fight him. They kick. Oh yeah. They kick their ass in
great. I forgot about that.
Baron Zemo, I mean, he deserves an Emmy as a special guest star Emmy or something, because he's fantastic and he's so funny. He gets pulled off to jail. I don't think he's going to stay in jail. I think that we will see him again.
Yes,
and we should see him again because he's fantastic. Because of that, I'm willing to move this to here.
I will. Okay.
Where do you want to put it?
Here's the thing, right? I feel, as we're talking about it, it's almost like a therapy session for Disney Plus shows. Okay. I feel almost the same way as I do with WandaVision, right? Like our emotional trajectory for those shows seem very similar. Like we liked a lot about both shows. Mm-hmm. It just didn't stick the landing for either. Right. I'm fuck. This one's hard. Yes. I would think it could be a B. It could also be a BC. Are you willing to put it above WandaVision?
I'm willing to put it above WandaVision because to me, the characters in this show were, this is purely preference, were better portrayed in my opinion.
I agree too.
I think the Ralph Boner thing, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Just make him an X-Men. Don't do that. Yeah. The Ralph Boner thing really bugged me. The Maria Rambeau,
Monica
Rambeau. Yeah, her storyline was again. I don't care about the Captain Marvel characters enough for enough to suffice to her having a whole own thing. I will say I think she performed great. I do like the actress. I think she's going to be great as Spectrum in Captain Marvel or the Marvels. But I don't care. It could have been any other character. You could have replaced the character and you have the same effect.
I don't care either. Yeah, I don't care either.
You can't replace Zemo and put in a different villain. You can't take out Sharon Carter and have a different villain.
No.
Why you can't? Wyatt Russell was fantastic casting. You can't take him out and replace him with a different somebody.
No.
To me, that's why this show goes above WandaVision. Because besides Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen, and of course Catherine Hahn, she was fantastic. Yeah. Besides those three, I don't care about them.
Every of the other characters, but yeah, you're right. So I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier did a better job ultimately with the characters. How about this? How about we give it since WandaVision's right in the little middle thing? Why don't we just solidly say it's at least a B? And if down the line we think it's even better, depending, we could move it up to A. But let's put it at B since Wanda's in between. Maybe we'll get those.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
glad I could convince you a little bit.
Yes. So I took Falcon and Winter Soldier. I will let you take Loki. I have my opinions on Loki.
All right.
I know where it goes for me, but why don't we go and we'll place it and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. Loki. I like Loki a lot. Mm-hmm. I do like Loki a lot. And here's the thing about Loki that almost none of the other shows did except for another one. We'll get to that. Its finale was great. Mm-hmm. I like the finale. It was really cool. We get Kang the Conqueror. We get a great performance by what's his name?
Jonathan Majors.
Yes. And there was that was all really, really exciting. And it also happened to ties to the rest of the phase 4. It bounced that over. You okay?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. So again, you get a great performance. I mean, how could you not like Tom Hiddleston? A great addition with Luke Wilson. No. Owen Wilson. He's great. I love that guy so much. Jet ski. That's now a meme. That lived throughout the entire show. And I love Sylvie. Sylvie is great. I love her as a character. I think, if anything, the MCU has actually been doing a good job, other than Black Widow. She got shortchanged, ironically, with their female characters.
I would agree. Yes.
I like a lot of their... Monica is not bad. I think they could do more with her. I hope they do.
Agree.
But all the other characters have been really phenomenal. Shang-Chi's sister, great.
Yeah.
All the women in Eternals, awesome.
Great.
All great. Particularly, what's her face from Black Widow? That is my favorite character. I'm forgetting her name. Yelena.
Florence Pugh.
One of my favorite new characers, just hands down. Absolutely. So they've been doing a good job. Loki does that here. So, and again, great CGI, great story. I overall really like this. So I want to put it in A. I want to put it in a solid A.
Okay.
That's where I feel it should go. I think it's definitely better than the last two, just mostly because it does have a great trajectory that doesn't falter so hard.
Yeah.
But that's where I would put it. How do you feel? How do you feel about Loki? What do you think?
Loki is an S tier for me. Loki's all the way in the S tier for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna move it to the S tier just for now, as I try to.
Damn.
As I try to convince you.
I don't hate the choice, but please tell me why you think it's even better than I think it is.
Loki was so effing good because, yes, Sylvie was fantastic. The Tom Hiddleston was fantastic. Of course, he's just, he was born to play this character.
Absolutely.
Owen Wilson was great, but the mystery that it created, the implication it has on the MCU, this is like peak Marvel. This is what Marvel could be if it just pushed everything aside and just focused on the characters. This is a purely character-driven story. And what do we learn about Loki? Loki loves himself. That's it. Loki is the only person Loki's ever loved, besides Thor, his brother, is himself. Just a different version of himself. It's such a funny, amazing, like cool storyline and way to do it. Also, remember, this show was supposed to come out right after Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. So right after Doctor Strange, when we meet the one and only Reed Richards, who do we get to meet? We meet Reed Richards' direct descendant in Kang the Conqueror.
Right.
So here he is introduced, and there he is. And it's like, oh shit. And it's no secret that it's, the TVA uses the same door technology that Reed Richards uses.
Oh, get the fuck out of here! I didn't even think about that.
It's almost
Oh
the
my
same
God.
exact technology, almost like Kang the Conqueror created the TVA. So just I loved everything about this show. I loved the little side discussions. Why are you here? I killed Thor. Um, I just thought it was for me. It was. This is going to sound weird, but it was disconnected from the MCU, but also hyper connected to it. And that's why it really works so well. And it was just a perfect, like a purely character driven story on one character from several different versions, but one character. It's Loki's story. And it was like, like the future of the character is still so bright. And so there's still so much story to tell. Then not to mention my last little bit that would takes it over the top. Jonathan Majors, he brought this like Willy Wonka /
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, like Willy Wonka / kind of like really great unhinged Kang the Conqueror. Like
unpredictable.
Like, this guy's fucking crazy, but he's also brilliant.
Yes.
And like that is like the type of performance that can elevate a show to the next level. You pair that with Tom Hiddleston and they fight that fight that him and Sylvie have. He does everything because he doesn't want to hurt Sylvie because he actually loves her.
Yeah, of course.
And he loses and the world gets destroyed. Well, everything gets destroyed essentially. Everything switches. And the cliffhanger of Loki when he comes back and they don't remember, Mobius doesn't remember who he is.
Morbius.
Yeah, no. Mobius. Stop that. You stop that right now. Mobius doesn't remember who he is, and then there's a statue of Kang at the TVA. For me, I just loved it. The implications of what it means for the future of the MCU are greater than like it doesn't. Sure, Wanda's now dead. It doesn't matter. Falcon's the Captain America. Who cares? He has vibranium wings. He's not a super soldier. He's gonna get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
So, let's be honest. If you don't have Bucky, you're screwed.
You're screwed.
So yeah, I just thought it was because it was a purely character driven story. I loved Loki. It's my favorite show so far.
Okay. No, you convinced me. That's some great points. No, you're right. I think back at it, I'm going like, yeah, like I had nothing really that bad to say about it.
No.
And you're right. And you know what? It's the most how do I say this? I guess the most pop culture referenced show because you have like, everyone's talking about variants now. Yeah. And that's a great way to take, again, the MCU lore and make it and stretch it far enough and also make it something that people talk about. People that really people are really super intrigued by. And bring it to phase 4. And you brought up another great point that the show is disconnected enough, just enough from the main stuff. But obviously, it has everything to do with how the MCU moves forward. So it's like still very much connected. But you still get the feeling that this is a Loki show. It's ultimately about Loki, and about how he loves himself. It's a weird story arc and emotion to bring up, but they did it really well. You're right. Like he loves Sylvie, which is him, but she's also a female, so technically it's not him. I guess it's kind of cool. It's weird. It gives off this really interesting vibe. I like it.
I really loved it. I thought it was really well done. And so far of the shows we've talked about, this does have the biggest implication. And I am so upset that the damn pandemic came out. Came out. I shouldn't say like it's a fucking release. The pandemic happened. Sorry to anybody. Anyway, the pandemic happened and now everything's all out of order. But remember, like, I think Loki, if this show comes out after Multiverse of Madness and we get King the Conqueror and people start to connect those dots, everybody would be freaking out. Yeah. So it's an S tier for me.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think that's I don't hate it. That's all I'll say. Let's keep it there.
Let's keep it there.
It's a solid show. I liked it. Yes.
All right. So moving on. Loki's the first S tier. Nothing in the A tier yet, guys. I think that might be surprising to some of the fans that watch this show. Anyway, next in the chronological order is What If. Ed.
Okay. I'll take What If. All right. So straight off the bat, I did not love What If.
Oh,
I found some episodes to be interesting, most of them not, in my opinion, in my personal opinion. I just didn't. It just felt until the end when you realize that this is all canon.
yeah.
It still felt like, for me, it just felt like, who cares? I
Ooh.
just didn't care about. The only episode I loved was the Doctor Strange episode, because I thought in and of itself that was a great story where he goes down this rabbit hole of trying to get Christine back, and he ends up being like, I guess it's not Sinister Strange, it's like Strange Supreme or whatever.
Strange Supreme, yeah.
That was all great. I love that episode. Everything else, it's like, I mean, from the get go, it's like, yeah, Captain Carter, cool, she's great, and it shows how things could have been different, and I'm like, yeah, this is fun, but like,
do I care?
why does this matter? I don't. Yeah, do I care? I don't know if I do. Like, it just doesn't. And yeah, that story about like Hank Pym killing the Avengers. Great. I just don't. Okay, but
I loved that episode.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I
love that episode.
I don't hate any of the episodes. I just was watching it, going like, am I being teased here? Like, oh, what if this could have happened? Yeah, I get. Yeah, it could have, but it didn't. So I don't know why. If I guess it's because like a lot of the stories like that felt like, yeah, they were just like things that people around the table were like, what? Yeah, let's just try this because fuck it, like it'd be fun. But like the Doctor Strange one, at least actually had some gravitas to a character that we know and love, and that, yeah, what if this went completely the other way? And that was interesting. And then down the line, of course, we find out that the Watcher is like real, and this all is actually a multiverse show, basically.
Right.
And that was fun. I still didn't think that they like stuck the landing. I just don't understand why seeing these other people seeing Thanos as a good person was actually pretty fun. So I guess what I liked about the show is when you gave us characters that were completely 180'd. Like, see what happens when they're like really not. They went down a path you really didn't expect them to go down to.
Yeah.
Which I felt like they kind of did, but overall, it just left me with a whatever kind of, instead of like what if, it's like whatever.
Okay.
So that I would put the show personally in D tier. It just because I know you're gonna fight me for this, and we can talk about it. I just really didn't care. At the end of the day, I didn't care. Plus, I thought the art style was wonky, and that the voice acting was a little wonky. I don't know.
Ooh.
I didn't love it. That's all I'm gonna say. Every week. I skipped like 4 weeks because I just didn't care. Like the zombie. I don't know. Take me out of my hell out of this show, because I know you have a lot. So go ahead and tell me. But for me, I just don't care. So it goes to D because I just don't care.
Okay, so off the bat, my favorite episode was actually the zombies episode, but I have found out that is the like least popular episode from people I've talked to. I don't know a single person that has liked it. I know you didn't like it. I have a couple of buddies that didn't like it.
Surprised by that, actually.
Yeah. Oh, actually, my wife liked it. I saw it with her, so I watched all this Marvel shit with her. So she liked it, huh?
Well, yeah, no, keep going. But I was asking why didn't they? I'm surprised. I thought
a lot of people didn't like it. I loved it. We got to see the Scarlet Witch as a zombie. We also got to see a Vision actually doing the wrong thing, almost like the 180 of Wanda.
Yeah, that part
where he was in WandaVision. Like, oh wow, these guys really do love each other a lot, that they're willing to do wrong things for each other. So I thought that was kind of cool. I liked the Spider-Man. I don't know who voices him in that show, but I liked him. And I liked the animation he did, and I liked the way it all started. It all was kind of cool to me. Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher was fantastic, in my opinion, as a narrator. I would agree the voice acting from some isn't as good from others. I think it was Lake Bell that replaced Scarlett Johansson as the Scarlet Witch.
Yes, that's true. Yes,
that wasn't. She wasn't great. But I did like that episode. The Avengers all dying. I was like, oh well, that's kind of cool, actually. Interesting theory. And for me, I wouldn't put it up in like A, B, C territory. I maybe like the highest I think I could go is maybe highest I could give it, I think, is maybe right there with WandaVision.
Oh, that's what. Yeah.
But I do agree. I would agree with you. Maybe we just move it up here. But yeah, overall, I do actually agree with you because it's just it is like a who cares. But for me, it's a who cares, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And I do think at least we get the payoff at the end of it. For me, the last 2 episodes is when it all comes together. When we see the who was it? Oh, it was Ultron Vision. I don't fucking know what the hell that guy was.
That's a good one. Ultravision. That's
Ultravision, yeah. Ultravision.
That's
Something
not bad.
I don't have is Ultravision. Anyway.
Me either.
Yeah, Ultravision, when he takes over and then he fights. We get a pretty good action sequence between the Watcher and him, fighting through the multiverses. I would have loved to see that in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange fight somebody as they're flying through the multiverse. That would have been fucking cool as hell to see live action, but that's okay. So for me, it's how it all kind of ties together. They assemble, now this is a corny name, the Guardians of the Multiverse.
Yeah. They got to stop with that. That's not funny anymore.
Not every team needs a name.
The team name thing, it's not funny anymore. Please stop.
I feel like we're going to get another stupid joke like that in the new Thor movie.
Probably.
Because Taika Waititi can't help himself. But hey, yeah, I would agree with you. C or D. Highest I could give it is
give it a C. Give it a C. I know you like it. You like some of it.
I do like it.
That's fine.
Some of the
I don't mind that.
episodes.
I don't mind it.
I actually didn't mind the art style all that much.
Okay.
I know a lot of people didn't like it as well. Again, it's not Young Justice for those people that watch cartoons and series. Young Justice is probably the best cartoon out there, up there with, it's not Invincible in my opinion either. But C is good enough for me.
Happy with that.
I don't have a lot to say about it. I know that season 2 is coming out. Of the shows we see here, literally only 2 that have season 2s are Loki, which makes sense, and What If.
And What If. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, and I think it makes sense. No, look. I think that's fair. I wouldn't. I think. Well, if you liked it so much, you could have been. I think you were going to put it in B at least if you enjoyed it that much.
I can't put it up above.
Right.
Currently, I can't put it
relatively speaking. Right.
Any of the right. If this is the tier, I can't put it above any of the live action shows. I just can't.
Gotcha. I'll say this. Mm-hmm. I think I would have enjoyed it more if the ending of the first episode already insinuated that these were connected, that it was canon. Because see, that's what I was kind of talking about. I was like, I felt like, who cares? Because if this is not if it doesn't tie to anything, like these are fun stories, but I don't know. Maybe I'd rather spend my time actually building to something. Yeah. And so if they just had kind of teased that at the end of the first episode, that would have changed my perspective on all the other episodes. Full stop. I would have been more open to maybe seeing some other events happen in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
but that would
season
have
2 opens the door for that. So maybe at the end of this year, when we rank the ones from this year more off, we move it up. But I think that I
that's
agree.
all I would say.
That would be really cool, man. That actually would be really cool to see.
I think that would have helped me personally. But yeah, I think I really liked it when the show was giving us 180 turnarounds of characters. That was that was most entertaining to me and most trivial. But can't win them all, Disney Plus, but it's not bad by any means.
Oh yeah, there was a Killmonger episode where Killmonger was still the villain, but it's like, well, why does this matter? If he's still the villain, who cares?
Right. See, when he's still being himself, I'm like, I don't. Yeah. Okay, great. I just don't. I've already seen this. I don't understand why. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Anyway, all right. So next along the list, I will take this one. Hawkeye.
Please take it.
So Hawkeye came out in November of last year. I don't know where Ed would put it, but I don't think he's gonna agree with me at all. I'm going all the way.
Oh my god!
Hawkeye to me was one of the better MCU shows on Disney Plus. No. Do you want me to start?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
For starters, we get back Vincent D'Onofrio. We'll start at the top. we get back Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. And we get to see him. This is like the first time live action we're seeing him as the Kingpin from the comics. He's essentially indestructible. He helps. He's wearing shit from actual comic panels. He gets shot at the end of it, where he does lose his eyesight for a time being, but he comes back stronger than ever. We get a fantastic portrayal from Aqua Cox. Ooh.
Oh, I really don't know who you're talking about.
Echo. Her name is Echo in the movie.
Oh, really? You thought it was good, huh? Okay.
I liked her performance. In the deaf actress.
Oh, it's not. I mean, it's not bad.
Anyway, I liked her performance in it. I thought it was fun. She was popular enough to get her own show.
Apparently, that was another piece of news that I saw this week.
Yes,
that she was getting her own show. Even had stills already.
Echo's getting her show. Oh yeah, she's on the run, and I think she's on the run from one Kingpin because she does shoot him. And then I think that show's going to be very good because I think she's going to be on the run from Kingpin, and she's going to need a one Daredevil to come bail her out because that's what happens in the comics. Anyway, I think she was great. I actually really, really enjoyed Haley Steinfeld. I didn't think I was going to. I thought she was great as Kate Bishop. She was funny. She's kind of got this like broken home that she's coming from. And I thought it was fun and great and just overall enjoyable. I enjoyed Jeremy Renner going deaf. I know a lot of people saying, oh, he's mailing it in. But you know what? He looks, I think that was the purpose. He looks old and he looks beat up. Like he's one of the only Avengers.
He's tired. He's absolutely tired.
That's old and human,
Yeah.
So
he's been trying to get out.
Yeah, this dude's been
before. What movie was that? Was it Age of Ultron? When they visited
Age of Ultron was when he tries to retire.
He was kind of retired already.
That's it. He was supposed to be
that
done.
was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So
pulling me back in.
Yeah. Anyway. Exactly. Yeah. And last but not least, I thought the mom, Haley Steinfeld's mom, Vera Farmiga, she was great in it. I just thought it was a good, not over the top, street level story that I thought was better executed than the Falcon and Winter Soldier, because the Falcon and Winter Soldier, fumbled its ending, and I don't think this fumbled its ending. Not to the degree that these guys did. They kind of did wrap it all up pretty fast. The mom does get arrested. We get an ambiguous ending for Kingpin, but we know it's not how it's going to end. You're not bringing back Vincent D'Onofrio to kill him off in one episode. No. I just think I thought it was pretty great. It does seem like there was supposed to be a Daredevil cameo in this that they just couldn't get timed up to film in time.
That was so good.
So yeah, I was expecting very little from this show, and I very, very, very much enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was enough drama, enough silliness for me that it worked. Yeah. What do you think?
Okay. I'm going to go with, I disagree with you completely on a personal level.
Okay.
Did not
wait. Before you go into it, where would you put it?
You want to? Okay. Oh fuck. Yeah, I definitely like it better than What If, but I would definitely rather go through WandaVision again.
You drop it in the middle, around on par with WandaVision.
I more or less. I would still rather watch WandaVision though, straight up. This is gonna be tough, man. Okay. This one's gonna be tough. I know. Let's go. Again, my okay. Look,
get into it.
The show it's not a bad show by any means. I just feel like it did fall flat for me almost in every episode though. It just was like a bland.
I didn't even mention Yelena.
Okay. Yelena for me was the best part of the entire show. Every second, every frame that Yelena is in is just gold to me. Mm-hmm. I love Yelena as a character. Florence Pugh is just one of the greatest actors, I think, of our generation. Like she's going to go far. Like she is just dynamite in anything she's in. She's so good. And she's particularly good as Yelena. Talk about just a wisecracking. And she gives off the kind of the millennial vibe in the best way because she doesn't care. She also has like kind of the sister vibe, but she whoops ass and she knows what she has to do and she's going to get it. And she knows she's so good that she has this sass about her that's just so great. She's just dynamite. And so everything that she's in is awesome. I will also say that Wilson Fisk part was also really good. I liked seeing him come back. That fight that he has with
Kate,
with Hawkeye and Kate, or no, mostly Kate.
Kate. Yeah. I mean,
great,
dude,
great.
Come on.
Like, what the fuck's up with this guy? This guy's just he's not going down. What's going on? Like, what has he been doing? And that was all intriguing and fun. I like that. Here's the thing. They're characters that are in 2 episodes, maybe less than 2 episodes. And those are my favorite things about it. Ooh. Not tracking well for me. So here's the thing. I don't hate Haley Steinfeld. I think she does great. I do think that her character is starting to kind of give off this blueprint a little bit for what they, what the superhero woman should be like, where they're not serious and that they kind of have to be more playful and crack jokes. And her performance is not what I'm banking. She's great.
Okay.
But it just wasn't enough to get me like, I love Kate Bishop. This is why she ends up being basically this like the star of the show, like even more so than maybe Jeremy Renner in a lot of ways. But but I just thought overall she was fine, I think, as a character. But her story arc, I also think that Jeremy's story arc, just the story in general, I just wasn't falling for it. Just nothing about the overarching story intrigued me. I mean, basically it's like, all right, I have to pen up for my sins as when I was Ronin. And that's the whole show. Like, it's the whole show. And there was only so much I could take of that, where it's like, really? This whole show is about him trying to get the suit back? Like, it's been 4 episodes and they're still trying to get the suit back. And I'm like, there has to be more here. Because like, what was interesting was the parts where he was deaf, right? And where that my favorite scene was him and Kate and how she had to sign to him or something. What was that scene where they're in the kitchen? Like, remember he lost his hearing aid or something. Yeah. And she had to sign to him what his son was saying.
The kid calls and he's like, she writes on a
oh, there you go, because he couldn't hear him. I thought that was incredible, and I wanted them to really dive into that, and they don't for most of the season. And I wish they just really went further into that, because you see him being he's done, man. He's done. He's over this. And which is why I give the whole like phone in performance as a part of the performance. It makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. He's old and retired.
But I just feel like that storyline goes for way too far. I think it's an excuse to have the Echo character, which, by the way, I didn't care for even one little bit. I don't care for that storyline at all. Again, performance, not bad. But okay, like you're so hopped up on. I wish there's these things that I wish were like maybe wrapped up in the middle of the season. I just feel like we're not strong enough to get me through to the very end. And by the way, I also think that the season finale faltered with the main character storylines. I don't buy that Yelena is so mad or so totally believes that Clint was the reason that Natasha died.
Right.
Like, I think get over it, man. Like, and when she does, it's super fast.
Yeah.
When she does, it's super fast. So I hated that.
For me, I think that part is more so like she just wants to know what happened. I think she's trying to
gives no one a chance to say anything.
Right. I mean, yeah, good point. So like I can agree with almost everything you said. And I do think the show for me would be better. It would be up in the S tier if it was just a little bit simpler, just simple rewriting. Focus more on, we find out that Clint's wife was a SHIELD agent, and we find out that they're trying to like figure out, oh shit, there's more at stake here than just this suit. It's his family at stake. I do think there are parts that could have been a lot better in the show. I do actually like. I disagree with you on the biggest part is the Haley Steinfeld performance. This works better to me than well, it works better to me than like Captain Marvel or anything else so far.
Oh no, I agree with that.
Because she's eager to be a superhero. She wants to do the right thing. She wants to be this, and Clint's the example of what happens when you're a superhero when you're just human. Like he's beat up, he's going deaf, he's he doesn't even move so well anymore. Like to me, that's there's this cautionary tale, and like I think if they focused a little bit more on that, it could have been a much better show.
Right.
But yeah, I think that like I do like her performance, and I do agree with you. Like, hey, here's this like trope that they're trying to portray female characters are, and I don't know what it is about Marvel and some of their female characters and why they have such issues. Or actually, I don't know what it is about Hollywood and writing a strong femem character. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
just go watch The Mummy from 1999. Tell me a stronger female character than Rachel Weisz.
Yeah,
like it's not fucking rocket science.
No, it's really not.
Just make them competent. You don't have to make them cocky assholes. Like people don't like cocky assholes when guys are cocky assholes. No. So like don't do that. Anyway, I think that's why I liked Kate's, because she's so eager to do that's all she wants. And like here's this cautionary tale that like look, this is what happens. I've had to sacrifice my best friend to save the world. I've lost everything. I lost my family for 5 years, and I went off the rails and I killed people. And I do think this show, similar to how I pitched Daredevil earlier, would have benefited from storylines happening during the blip. If we got more of Clint killing people, going on missions during the blip, the show would have been elevated. Yeah. So
No, look, I agree with that. I love a good hero who's eager. Obviously, I think that's one of the best qualities of anybody who wants to really save people. Here's the thing. Again, I think the story could have just, I think it focused more on those kind of emotional beats about both of those characters. I think it would have been better. Here's the thing about Haley's story. Again, not the performance. I do like the performance. It's not bad. And my comments about the general MCU women thing, like that's a whole separate thing. Haley's great. I love Haley. She's great. But here's the thing that doesn't really match with how her story wraps up with Hawkeye's. She doesn't have anyone really to fight for. Like her mom, her mom's competent. She's fine. Her stepdad is a jerk and he can do whatever. But you're right. Like it's a cautionary tale, but she has no one to project the dangers of her wanting to be a superhero onto. She's not really looking out for anybody besides her needing to be a superhero. And I think if they just added someone she could lose, someone she could fight for, because remember, you're right. Ultimately, Clint is doing this not just to save people, but for his family. He's a family guy, but she doesn't really have anyone to.
That's a good point.
Put that onto, and I just wish that wrapped up better, where she could see, my ignorance of this job and my passion for it need to be rounded out, because it could blow up in my face for people that I might care about.
Okay,
and
so
if maybe they had that maybe tied together, I would have cared for her story a little more.
That's honestly, that point is enough to make me consider dropping this to B.
I think I would be happy with a B. Relatively speaking.
To me, it's still better than WandaVision, because again, WandaVision puts out so many things, and it's just like, wait a minute. And I honestly think it's better than Falcon and Winter Soldier, just because some of the landings weren't stuck as well, and I think the endings were stuck a little bit better here, and you're left open, like. She's gone off with Clint now, and she's going to be back around. Yelena's properly introduced to the MCU for the first time, which I think is a big deal, because look, Yelena's Black Widow takes place before Civil War or after Civil War? I don't know when.
Wait. Yeah, before. Wait.
After Civil War. Before Infinity War.
Infinity War. Yeah.
So to me, like that's where I think that you can put the show there. It's just a tad better.
When you think about the show now, like just in relativity to these other shows, you kind of go. I think where I'm having issues is thinking that it's the least risky show. Clearly, it's meant to be the more like kind of straightforward. Yeah, it's ground level, like you said. It's ground level.
Ground level MCU is important.
I agree. But that's what I'm saying is like, why am I having a problem with it? I don't know. I think it's mostly the story for me, because I don't disagree with the whole, like, it's a grounded level story. It's not trying to trick you or intrigue you with some like, supernatural space shit, cosmic entity stuff. It's meant to be almost like a buddy cop thing that's relatable. And I give it props for that. I do. I think it really just was a story for me.
Okay.
But I would be fine with it being in B.
Okay.
I would be totally fine being in B, as long as it's not pushed up next to this next one. Okay. And then Loki, I'm fine with that. If you're about to tell me that Hawkeye was like anywhere near the realm of these two, I think we would have had a problem.
Okay. But, fair. That's fair.
I'm fair with B. How about that?
All right. So now we'll move to the final one, the 6th Marvel show that's come out in, this is the 6th Marvel show that's come out in a year. Think about it.
Yeah.
Disney Plus their shows started with WandaVision last year, January 2021. And we're about to have the 7th show, like less than
popping out.
We're literally less than 2 weeks ish away from the 7th show. And then from when the 7th show ends, we're going to be less than a month away from the 8th show.
I'm telling you, man, MCU's got it.
They're pushing it. All right.
Pushing.
So Ed, I think I know where this is going to go for you, but why don't you tell me where to put Moon Knight and then we can get into it.
S. Dude, Moon Knight. It's talk about a show where we really weren't sure where the hell this thing was going to land. The IP is completely new. The character no one knows about. It's one of the least known in terms of the general audience. Superheroes in ever. I mean, it might have been even less known than Guardians for all I know. In general. And then talk about just the rise of this great fucking show. It absolutely deserves to be S tier. I think it's the best Disney Plus show for sure. I definitely think it's better than Loki for sure. But a close call. I love both of those shows. I do believe they both deserve S tier. But here's why I think, if I were to argue, if we had to push something to A, why Loki could be an A and Moon Knight could be an S. Moon Knight just it's hyper focused on Mark Spector / Steven. And that's it, period. It's hyper focused on telling this amazing story about this mentally broken superhero, which we've never had before. Beautifully portrayed. Emmy award-winning performance by Oscar Isaac, playing at the end of the show fucking 4 roles for all I know, and making them so distinct. And then not only that, this beautiful trajectory, just upward rising trajectory through every single episode that was so good that it had to be on purpose. Great direction by this director, Mohammed. I forget his last name. Sorry.
Diab. D-I-A-B. Sorry if we can't pronounce it.
Mohammed Diab. Wonderful direction. And again, the pre-production on this was just the most clean and well thought out. Particularly Oscar Isaac is a producer on the show. You can just see it. You can just see how through every episode it's like, okay, we're gonna give him this much, and in the next one we're giving him more, and the next one we're giving him more, and every 2 episodes we're in a different location. Like it feels so big. Even it feels like the biggest show, even though it's character-wise it's the smallest, because you're really dealing with only 1 or 2 characters that are the main characters. And shout out to his partner Layla, who is also ended up being. Started off like I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about her. Ends up being one of my favorite characters by the end of the show. And then a great villain, arguably Ethan Hawke as what's his name? I forget his name.
Arthur Harrow.
Great. And talk about someone like who doesn't like have a physicality, but just is so menacing, so unpredictable, and he's just great in that role. And he also plays multiple roles. Everyone plays multiple roles in this film. By episode 5 and 6, man. When you get his backstory, you're crying, dude. Like, this guy's broken, and the same episode or the next episode, when he reconciles with himself, and you realize he gets to love himself, and mental illness can, as troublesome as that could be, it could be used to uplift yourself and be something that you never once thought you couldn't be. It's a phenomenal show. I don't know where else this could be but S tier for me personally. But Alex, what do you think of my choice, and do you more or less agree?
So I would actually agree with you. I don't think it's better than Loki, but I think it's at the same level as Loki.
Okay.
But they work because of the same reason. Loki's hyper focused on Loki. Moon Knight is hyper focused on Mark Spector and Stephen Grant and eventually Jake Lockley. You learn, like, I do agree with you that that it being hyper focused, and I don't know if another actor or actors, if we're including Tom Hiddleston, could have done it and carried it as well. Like we said, we took a shot at Anthony Mackie. Is like, do we know if he can hold his own movie? We don't know. Mark Spector can hold his own movie.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac can hold his own movie. Tom Hiddleston can hold his own movie.
Yes.
And that's why these shows worked so well to me. I completely agree. I think Mohamed Diab did a fantastic job. Like, I don't know what the budget was for this show. Whatever it was, I'm sure it probably wasn't enough because some of the CGI with his suit never looked amazing.
Yes, some CGI wonkiness here.
What he did with it was absolutely spectacular. It felt like this globe-trotting adventure just solely focused on Mark Spector. And, as you go through the show, you realize Stephen Grant's presented to you as the guy. And a lot of people didn't like it because they're like, oh, Stephen Grant, he's supposed to be a billionaire, and he's not this big alpha male. Like, fuck you. Like, it really works well as a different character. And then you learn why he is created.
Yeah, you see the reason behind that.
And it breaks your heart because he creates this kid who's innocent and nice, and because that's not what he had. He didn't have that. He had a terrible childhood. Not his fault. His mom was this awful person. Like, I also love seeing the mom as the bad guy, because typically you see the dad as a bad guy. That role reversal was pretty great.
Great point. Yes.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah. So, like, I would agree with you. It's on the same level as Loki. I do like Loki just a little bit better. But it's interchangeable. But anyway, yeah, like Layla is fantastic. Ethan Hawke is fantastic. He's kind of got this like menacing calmness about him. Like you said, he's not Thanos. He's not Kingpin. He's not this big bulking dude you should be scared of. He's not Green Goblin.
No.
He is menacing for a whole other reason because Ethan Hawke's a fantastic actor, and you're just like, oh shit.
This Hawkesance, however you want to call it. He's just shown up, dude. Like, wow. Like, I don't know where I mean, he's always been great, but he's amazing nowadays. Like, he is showing up. He is incredible. Yeah, Huma's Harrow, man, is just what a performance. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like one of the best parts of the show for me is that, like, should we be on Khonshu's side? Is Khonshu a dick?
Yes, Khonshu's great too.
Like, that was a really fun kind of like mystery, shrouded mystery, and then we find out that Khonshu still kind of has control because Mark is actually way more broken than we even get to see. We only scratch the surface here. But you mentioned it. You go back to episode 5, and that was the best episode of the series from a storytelling point of view.
Yeah.
To watch the childhood, to watch Steven die, to watch
and be reborn in a sense.
Yeah, watch him be reborn, and you get not to be reborn, but you also see why Steven was born in the first place.
Yes,
he's born out of necessity in order to survive.
Yeah,
to childhood trauma.
Oh God,
and and like I'm sure Jake Lockley was born out of trauma in another way. It kind of fits with the line. What is grief with it? Love everlasting, and then he creates all these different guys to learn how to love himself. And
it would be amazing to know. It would be amazing to know if Steven is the reason that Jake Lockley exists, because Steven is a pussy.
Ooh, that would be,
and so he wishes.
To find out.
Yeah, so when he's pushed around, he creates someone who you do not fuck with.
Yeah, exactly. And then like we had like the end sequence where the two giants are fighting, like fucking Megazord fight. That was really cool,
right?
Yeah, that was really cool.
Kaiju Megazord fight. That shit was sick.
And as cool as that was, the interchangeability that they have at the end of the episode Mark and Steven when they're in the Moon Knight suit. So they're switching from Moon Knight to Mr. Knight. That was really well shot. Like he runs in scene as Moon Knight, then runs out and he's Mr. Knight. That's really well done. Like,
how cool is that?
I don't care what anybody says. That's fun editing and that's good filmmaking.
It is.
And yeah, I really did enjoy that the series as a whole. Not what I was expecting at all. And I thought it was great. So S tier, I'm completely fine with it. I'm aligned with it. S tier, not as good as Loki, but to me, I agree. They're interchangeable. Yeah. And like again, they share that similarities. It's disconnected enough from the MCU. Well, this one's actually totally disconnected.
Which is
from the MCU. And and you don't need it. Yeah. You don't need it because it works. Because Oscar Isaac just propels the show into just the stratosphere.
I don't know, man. I just feel like the more I think about it, I'm like, is this like my favorite thing that MCU has done in Phase 4 right now? I don't know. Might be. Obviously, Loki is above yours, but I think just in general, just as
Loki
a package,
would be mine. Yeah.
Like, man, like I love Moon Knight. Like the one thing I want to see next is like just Moon Knight 2. Just give me a second season. I want more. I want to see it now. I need to see
Oscar Isaac has said there won't be a second season, so I don't know.
Don't say that to me right now.
I feel like we're going to see Moon Knight, but it's going to be Moon Knight in other properties.
But we will, obviously. But I just want a season 2. I was like, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Just throw me more. Jake Lockley, fuck it. Let's do it. Yes, I want to see it. I want to see it. I also want to, just really quickly, Khonshu, that voice actor is great.
I thought it was Liam Neeson for the longest time.
How awesome would that be, actually?
It would be fucking cool, man. But no, whoever it is,
how cool is that voice, man?
Great. Yeah.
Like it like sticks in my head how cool. Yeah. We've had a lot of the grumble kind of
manly voices,
manly and kind of like there's a slight tinge of a produced. I don't know what they call it, but in the audio world, just like you know,
what you mean.
Yeah, like the Megatron-y kind of thing.
Yes.
But it's a great voice. It sounds pretty natural, and it's one of the greater voices I've heard in a long time. Where I'm like, damn, that's dope. It's memorable. It's
I agree.
Like Darth, not at Darth Vader, but like
pretty close.
Approaching there, like approaching. Like, damn, that's good. He's a great person. Anyways, okay, so look like we got our list here, but in relative, so no A. There's just it went from B to amazing.
Yeah, I mean, after our conversation,
I don't know. Do you want to lift some up? I don't know.
After our conversation on Hawkeye, I won't put it in A. You know, to me, it's the closest to it. I cannot give it to Falcon and Winter Soldier. It really, really fumbled the finale. Even though it does set up a lot of cool things, I think it just fell so short in the finale range. And I love the storyline was good, but the last 2 episodes, I was just like, oh, what's happening? This is not going anywhere.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to move any of them? What if stays at C? WandaVision stays there. Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, it just goes to show that that you can have shows that don't exactly hit the mark at A, but then you have shows that are just completely awesome. They're just incredible. Yeah. That you can't even put it in A. It's just better than that. It's better than what these could have been at if they were just a tiny little adjustment at the end.
Yeah.
Stuck the landing. I personally would still put What If at D. That being said, I'm happy where this stuff is. That's just
we can leave it at C for now. There's some memorable episodes.
That BC thing that's happening there is a new thing to me. I've never seen that on the list, but I'm happy with that. That's fine.
Yeah. I can't put WandaVision talking about fumbling finales. Golly.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I know you would put Hawkeye at A. I know you'd put Hawkeye at A.
I would put Hawkeye at A if I could, but I mean, if we're being fair, I could do this. Just right in the middle. I could do that because I would put it above. You'll do that?
Yeah, that's fine. Put it in the middle. Okay. Put it in the middle if you want.
It's in the middle, right there.
Yeah, but clearly Hawkeye is the most polarizing between us.
I think so. I think there's a lot of fans that didn't like it.
Clear. Yeah, we have the biggest gap there in impact from us.
Agreement. Yeah.
So, I would put Hawkeye at a C. That's where
it's way too low.
I know you wouldn't, but I would put it at a C. Like I just even after everything we saw on that show, I could probably lose it except for Yelena and the Kingpin. Like the fact that but again, we would have seen it. If not at this show, we probably would have seen Kingpin somewhere else. But I'm glad they did it.
Yeah.
And anyways, but everything else I could stop.
All right then, man. I think we're I think that's it.
Solid list. There you go.
That's it, guys.
Let's
Take a
go.
look. Boom. We will
we'll
add
update.
to this
Yeah.
as we go, and we're actually. I think this was a lot of fun, so we're gonna do this again.
Yeah. MCU,
Oh my
28 movies.
Is it at
we
28?
do it, it's 28. Yeah. Multiverse of Madness is 28, man.
Holy shit! We'll have
Right?
to. Yeah,
Very,
we'll have
bro.
to like maybe do that in 2
I
episodes.
think we'll just have either we talk at length about as much as we did now, or just keep it to like some bullet points. We'll
Yeah,
work it out.
I agree. Yeah.
We'll just keep it.
Yeah,
flat.
we'll
just
do
keep it flat.
MCU in a couple weeks to
That's
fill the
quite-
voids of summer.
Yeah.
Maybe we do this at the
Or
end of
after Thor
summer.
or something. Or after Thor. Or what's
Yeah.
is there another one after that? No, that's it.
Well, there's Black Panther,
Oh fuck, my bad. Yeah, Black Panther.
and then there's Ant-Man
maybe-
3, and then there's the Marvels.
But that's next year.
Yeah.
So we can maybe do maybe after Black Panther. I don't know. It's a lot. Damn, that's gonna be the 30th movie. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, actually, after Black Panther works because we can do 30. We could do like we could do other ones, shorter
Or
ones.
we
you
can
know.
add to it. That way,
Yeah.
that way the video isn't 4 hours long.
Actually, you know what? Maybe we do it before Thor,
Yeah, maybe.
and then we'll add to it after at the end of the year.
so we don't like absolutely annoy everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
4-hour
Ooh.
episode of a 20. That's a long episode. We
Yeah.
we could go 4 hours on that.
We could, yeah. We'll have to edit ourselves or something.
Yes.
Have like a moderator here saying, "Okay, move."
Cover your mouth.
Yeah, and move it. Get it. Move. Fucking go. Let's go. All right, guys.
All right, my friend, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's our tier. Marvel Disney Plus shows ranked. We'll do this again next week.
Enjoyed it.
Top Gun. Full review, full spoiler discussion.
Oh god, dude, I'm so excited. I'm singing this again.
Riding to the danger zone. Any desk is on.
Good place to stop this before
Yeah.
I ruin it more.
Pizza
Okay.
time. Pizza time. Pizza time. You're late.